In the heart of southern Africa, a miracle of nature unfolds, a living tapestry woven from water, earth and sky, untouched by the hand of civilization. Here the land breathes with the rhythm of ancient cycles, and the wild reigns supreme. Water, the rarest treasure in this sun-baked expanse, spills into the Kalahari Desert, transforming a parched wilderness into a vibrant oasis. The land, once cracked and silent, stirs with anticipation as the first trickles of life-giving water arrive. This is the Okavango Delta, a shimmering jewel set in the arid heart of Africa, where the boundaries between land and water blur and shift with the seasons. Unlike any other river, the Okavango embarks on a remarkable inland journey, its waters refusing the call of the distant sea. Instead, they spill into the thirsty embrace of the desert, defying the expectations of geography and logic. Born in the lush highlands of Angola, the river meanders southward, its waters fanning out across the Kalahari in a vast, intricate alluvial fan. Here, the river's journey is not an end, but a transformation. The water disperses into a labyrinth of glistening channels, tranquil lagoons, and emerald floodplains. Each channel twists and turns, carving new paths through the land, creating a mosaic of habitats unlike any other on Earth. The Okavango Delta is a world in constant flux, a lush oasis that materializes and recedes with the rhythm of the seasons. Its boundaries are redrawn by the annual pulse of water, a living map that changes with every sunrise. On this day, the 24th of August 2025, the Delta is alive with a symphony of life. Every note, every movement is a testament to the power of water in a thirsty land, a celebration of survival and abundance. The heartbeat of this extraordinary ecosystem is the annual flood, a phenomenon that shapes every aspect of life here. The flood is both a promise and a challenge, a force that brings both bounty and peril. Each year, distant rains in Angola begin a slow, patient pilgrimage. Their waters travel over 1,000 kilometers, winding through forests and plains until they finally reach the waiting arms of the delta. After months of journeying, the floodwaters arrive, breathing new life into the land. The transformation is breathtaking. Dry earth gives way to shimmering wetlands, and the air fills with the sounds of awakening. What was once a dry, cracked savanna is reborn as a lush green sanctuary. Grasses surge skyward, lilies bloom in hidden pools, and the land flourishes in a riot of color and possibility. Channels swell and spill over, floodplains vanish beneath the water, and new islands emerge. The delta is a living puzzle, its pieces shifting with every drop of rain, every surge of the flood. This seasonal pulse is the metronome of the delta, dictating the rhythms of every creature. From the tiniest insect to the mightiest elephant, all life here is tuned to the rise and fall of the water. It is a spectacle of renewal and abundance, a cycle that has played out for millennia. The delta sustains one of the densest concentrations of wildlife on the continent, a living testament to nature's resilience. The Okavango Delta is a sanctuary for an astonishing diversity of animals. Each species is uniquely adapted to this watery world, their lives interwoven in a delicate balance. Towering herds of elephants wade through the flooded corridors, their massive forms gliding gracefully between islands of papyrus and reeds. Their trunks reach deep into the water, searching for roots and cool refreshment. Agile antelopes like impalas and lechwis bound through the grasslands. Their coats are a blur of russet and gold, flashing through the reeds as they leap over hidden channels and pools. In the deeper channels, pods of hippos wallow and grunt, their massive bodies submerged in cool, life-giving water. Only their eyes and nostrils break the surface, ever watchful in their aquatic domain. Along the banks, the silent ancient form of the Nile crocodile lurks. With patient stillness it waits for the unwary, a master of ambush in this watery realm. Above, the sky is alive with the calls of over 400 species of birds. Kingfishers dart like living jewels, herons stalk the shallows, and bee-eaters flash emerald and gold as they swoop for insects. The delta is a web of life, where every plant and animal is a vital thread in the intricate tapestry of this ecosystem. Each species depends on the others, their fates entwined in the cycles of water and sun. Papyrus and water lilies blanket the channels, their roots anchoring the soil and providing shelter for countless creatures. The gentle sway of papyrus in the breeze is a dance as old as the delta itself. Beneath the surface, fish dart through crystal-clear waters, feeding on the bounty brought by the flood. Silver flashes reveal tilapia and catfish weaving through underwater forests. As dusk falls, the chorus of frogs rises, their calls echoing across the water. The air vibrates with the richness of amphibian life, each note a signal in the coming darkness. Insects buzz and flit above the surface, dragonflies, butterflies and bees, each playing a role in pollination and the food web. Their wings catch the sunlight, scattering rainbows across the water. Predators and prey move in a delicate dance, each species finely attuned to the cycles of flood and drought. Lions stalk the reed beds, leopards slink through the shadows, and antelope remain ever alert to the dangers that lurk. As the sun rises over the Okavango, mist drifts above the water and the delta awakens. The air is filled with the scent of wet earth and blooming lilies, the calls of birds and the distant rumble of elephants. This is a living, breathing testament to the resilience and wonder of nature, a world where the wild spirit of Africa endures, undisturbed and eternal. In the sun-scorched heart of the Okavango, where the air shimmers with heat and the ground cracks beneath relentless drought, a creature emerges. Mellivora capensis, the honey badger. Here every day is a gauntlet of survival, and the honey badger is nature's answer to adversity, a living embodiment of raw tenacity and adaptation. Its body is a compact fortress, low to the earth and brimming with muscle. The honey badger's frame is not built for elegance or speed, but for endurance and brute force. Each sinew and tendon is honed for the relentless work of pushing through tangled brush, clawing into termite mounds and burrowing deep beneath the parched soil in search of sustenance or refuge. Its limbs, though short, are pillars of strength. Broad, powerful paws end in thick, curved claws, nature's multi-purpose tools, equally suited for tearing open the earth or rending the flesh of adversaries. The honey badger's gait is a determined, shuffling march, each step a testament to its ceaseless drive and the power coiled within its compact form. Its appearance is unmistakable. A coarse jet-black pelt cloaks its underbelly and legs, while a bold silver-grey mantle sweeps from the crown of its head down the length of its back, ending at a stubby tail. This striking contrast is more than mere decoration. It is a living warning, a visual proclamation of defiance to all who cross its path. The honey badger's coloration is a banner of audacity, a signal that radiates through the grasslands. Even in the open, its bold patterning makes it impossible to mistake, a creature that advertises its willingness to stand its ground no matter the odds. Its eyes, small and dark, glint with perpetual vigilance. Every flicker of movement, every whisper of sound in the bush is registered and assessed. The honey badger's senses are sharpened to the pulse of the wild, attuned to both the promise of prey and the shadow of danger. Yet it is not merely the honey badger's form that commands respect, but its spirit, a spirit forged in the crucible of constant peril. It is famed for its audacity, a creature that meets threats with a glare and a growl, refusing to yield even when faced with overwhelming force. Though its size is modest, no greater than that of a medium dog, the honey badger's courage is boundless. Within its sinewy frame lies a will that refuses to be cowed, a ferocity that belies its stature. It will stand its ground against the Okavango's most formidable predators, lions, leopards and hyenas, creatures that dwarf it in size and strength. The honey badger's reputation for fearlessness echoes across the floodplains, a legend whispered on the wind. This legend is not without substance. The honey badger is armed with a formidable arsenal, jaws that can crush bone and shell, teeth honed for slicing through sinew and hide, and claws that can dig, slash, and defend with lethal precision. Its skin is a marvel of adaptation. Thick, rubbery, and loose, it allows the honey badger to twist and contort even when seized by a predator. This flexibility turns the tables in a struggle, enabling it to bite back and escape the jaws of death. Its forelimbs, tipped with long, razor-sharp claws, are the tools of a master excavator and a relentless fighter. With these, it can unearth burrowing prey, carve out shelter, and defend itself with unmatched ferocity. Retreat is a concept foreign to the honey badger. When danger looms, it does not flee, it advances. Aggression its shield and weapon. Each confrontation is met with a surge of energy, a display of unyielding resolve. As a predator, the honey badger is both opportunistic and ingenious. It stalks the grasslands and woodlands with a keen mind, probing burrows, overturning stones, and sniffing out the faintest traces of hidden prey. Its intelligence is a vital tool, allowing it to solve problems and exploit opportunities that others might miss. Its diet is a testament to its adaptability. The honey badger is a consummate generalist, feasting on insects, grubs, small mammals, birds, and more. In the Okavango's ever-shifting landscape, this flexibility is the key to survival. Nothing is off the menu. Beetles, scorpions, lizards, eggs, and even the young of larger animals fall prey to its relentless appetite. The honey badger's willingness to consume whatever it can overpower ensures it endures even when resources are scarce. Day after day, it forages tirelessly, nose pressed to the earth, shuffling through its territory in search of the faintest scent of food. Its journey is ceaseless, covering vast distances as it scours the land for sustenance. Among its most astonishing adaptations is its resistance to snake venom. The honey badger is one of the few creatures that can withstand the bite of Africa's deadliest serpents, turning a lethal threat into a source of nourishment. It actively seeks out venomous snakes, including cobras, dispatching them with swift, calculated strikes. What would be a fatal encounter for most becomes a mere obstacle, another challenge to be overcome and devoured. In a realm ruled by giants and expert hunters, the honey badger's greatest weapon is its indomitable will. It survives not by stealth or speed, but by meeting danger head-on, refusing to yield to the powerful forces that surround it. Where the leopard relies on silent cunning and the lion on the strength of the pride, the honey badger's answer is unrelenting aggression. It is a solitary force, a storm of fury and resolve, undeterred by the size or number of its adversaries. Its strategy is simple: attack first, attack hard. The honey badger launches itself at threats with a ferocity that few can match, embodying the principle that the best defense is a relentless offense. When provoked, it unleashes a guttural, rattling growl, a sound that reverberates through the grass, a warning that this is not a creature to be taken lightly. Its open jaws and bared teeth are a final, unmistakable threat. In the intricate web of the Okavango, the honey badger is a force that shapes the lives of all around it. Its presence ripples through the ecosystem, influencing the movements of both predator and prey, a living testament to the power of adaptation and the will to survive. The honey badger's saga is one of resilience, ingenuity, and unbreakable spirit. In the wild tapestry of the Okavango, it stands as a symbol of nature's relentless drive, a creature that survives not by hiding, but by facing the world with fearless determination. The midday sun scorches the banks of a broad, slow-moving channel in the Okavango Delta. The air shimmers with heat, and the only sounds are the distant calls of birds and the gentle lapping of water against the shore. Every living creature seeks shade, but the drama about to unfold will play out in the open beneath the relentless African sun. At the threshold where water and land intertwine, a formidable resident has claimed her territory, a massive Nile crocodile, ancient and powerful. She is the undisputed ruler of this patch of riverbank, her presence a silent warning to all. She lies motionless, her armored body blending with the muddy bank, every muscle relaxed but ready. Her nest, a carefully constructed mound of sand and tangled vegetation, is hidden nearby, her most precious secret. Beneath this mound, her eggs rest in the humid darkness, their leathery shells warmed by the sun and protected by layers of earth and leaves. The nest is a fortress, but even the best defences have their weaknesses. The mother crocodile slips into the water, her eyes and nostrils barely breaking the surface. She hovers silently, a vigilant guardian, her senses attuned to every ripple and scent. The water is her element, and from here she can monitor her domain. Her presence alone is enough to keep most predators at bay, but the Okavango is a place of relentless opportunists, and today a new challenger approaches. On the breeze, the faint, musky aroma of eggs drifts through the reeds. A honey badger, nose twitching, picks up the scent. Its senses are razor-sharp, and the promise of a rare meal draws it closer. Driven by hunger and curiosity, the honey badger slinks through the undergrowth, its claws scraping softly against the earth. Each step is calculated, every movement deliberate as it navigates the tangled roots and thorny brush. It emerges at the riverbank, pausing to scan the water and the shadows beneath the trees. The air is thick with tension, every sense heightened. The badger knows that danger could be lurking anywhere, especially in the water. The badger lifts its snout, inhaling deeply. The scent of eggs is strong here, mingled with the earthy aroma of wet sand and decaying leaves. It circles the area, searching for the exact location of the hidden treasure. The riverbank is momentarily empty. The mother crocodile, sensing no immediate threat, has glided into deeper water to hunt. The badger's window of opportunity is narrow, and it must act quickly. The honey badger seizes the moment. It crouches low, muscles tensed, eyes fixed on the mound. Every instinct tells it to be swift but silent. With a sudden burst of energy, it begins to dig. Sand sprays in all directions as its powerful foreclaws tear into the nest, the sound muffled by the thick vegetation. The badger pauses every few seconds, ears pricked, listening for the telltale splash or hiss of a returning crocodile. The badger works quickly, aware that every second increases the risk of discovery. Its fur bristles with excitement and urgency. The heat is stifling, and the sand clings to its body, but the badger is relentless. Soon the leathery eggs are exposed, glistening in the filtered sunlight. The badger sniffs them, confirming their freshness. It gently rolls one out of the nest, careful not to break it prematurely. It clamps an egg in its jaws, the shell yielding with a soft crack. The rich, sticky contents are devoured in seconds. The badger's tongue flicks out, savouring every drop while its claws dig for more. The badger feasts, savouring the rare bounty, its face smeared with yolk and sand. Each egg is a prize, and the badger wastes no time, breaking and eating them one after another. But the vibrations of digging and the scent of broken eggs drift across the water. The mother crocodile's eyes snap open, nostrils flaring. Instinct and maternal rage surge through her. She pivots in the water, her massive tail propelling her silently toward the nest, jaws slightly parted in anticipation. The current is against her, but she cuts through it with practiced ease. Her approach is ghostly, no ripples, no sound. Her body a shadow beneath the surface. She uses every advantage the water offers, closing the distance with chilling precision. Only the faintest glimmer of her eyes betrays her movement as she closes in on the unsuspecting thief. The reeds sway gently, masking her approach. The crocodile's gaze is fixed, her body coiled with predatory intent, every instinct urging her forward. She waits for the perfect moment, muscles tensed for a lightning-fast strike. The honey badger, lost in its meal, is oblivious to the danger gliding ever closer. It licks its paws, savouring the taste, unaware of the shadow looming behind. At the water's edge, the crocodile gathers herself for a strike. But just then, the badger's ears twitch, catching a subtle shift in the air, a faint splash, a change in the wind. Instinct or luck. Something warns the badger. It freezes, then glances over its shoulder, senses on high alert. The two predators lock eyes for a split second, each recognizing the other's lethal intent. In a final act of opportunism, the badger snatches a wriggling hatchling from the nest, its tiny body clamped in powerful jaws. The hatchling thrashes, but the badger's grip is unyielding. Without hesitation, the badger bolts, vanishing into the tangled undergrowth, the hatchling still struggling in its grip. The dense brush and twisting roots provide cover, but the escape is fraught with peril. One wrong step could mean disaster. The mother crocodile arrives too late, her eyes burning with silent fury, as she watches the intruder disappear. She thrashes the water in frustration, sending ripples across the channel. She hauls herself onto the bank, but the badger is already gone, the dense brush offering perfect cover. The nest is ruined, the eggs destroyed, and a hatchling lost. The memory of the raid lingers in her ancient mind, a lesson written in scent, sound, and loss, deep in the wild heart of the Okavango. Here, every day is a test of survival, and every encounter leaves its mark on predator and prey alike. As the Okavango's seasons shift, the land itself becomes a living puzzle. Floodwaters rise and recede, grasslands transform into marshes, and the priorities of every wild creature are rewritten by the rhythm of water and sun. For a female honey badger, this ever-changing landscape is both a challenge and an opportunity. Her quest for a den is a matter of survival, a race against time and rivals. She must find a territory that promises food and safety, especially after the brief chaotic mating season has passed, and the threat of larger predators looms. After a gestation of nearly 6 months, she needs a sanctuary, hidden, secure, and close to water and prey. The den must be a fortress, shielded from the prying eyes and sharp teeth of lions, leopards, and hyenas, yet accessible enough for her to hunt and return swiftly to her vulnerable kits. Honey badgers are not architects, they are opportunists. Rather than build, they roam the Okavango's tangled undergrowth, searching for abandoned shelters. Each one a potential home, each one a gamble. When she finds a likely burrow, she wastes no time. With powerful claws, she widens entrances, clears debris, and reinforces tunnels, transforming the space to suit her needs. But the Okavango is crowded, and every den is coveted. Old warthog burrows and deserted aardvark tunnels are the most prized, deep, cool, and naturally fortified. Yet these prime shelters rarely stay empty for long. More often than not, she finds them already claimed. The Okavango is a battleground of burrow seekers. Jackals, mongooses, and even snakes compete for these safe havens. The honey badger must weigh her options, fight, search elsewhere, or outwit the current occupant. Today her path crosses with a formidable rival, an African porcupine. The porcupine is no easy adversary, armed with a unique defense that few dare challenge. Its body bristles with long detachable quills, each one a needle-sharp warning. For most, this is enough to turn back, but not for the honey badger. Even lions and leopards have learned to keep their distance, wary of the pain and danger these quills can inflict. But the honey badger is undeterred. Her strategy is built on audacity and persistence, traits honed by a lifetime of overcoming obstacles. She sizes up the situation, her eyes fixed on the den. The porcupine's defenses are formidable, but the honey badger's resolve is legendary. The confrontation is inevitable. The honey badger advances, not with reckless violence, but with calculated intimidation, growling, posturing, and making her intentions unmistakable. She growls, her body low and tense, sending a clear message. This den will be hers. The porcupine responds in kind, quills raised and rattling, a living barricade ready to defend its claim. It stamps its feet and, if pressed, charges backwards, aiming to drive the badger away with a wall of spikes. But the honey badger is relentless. She advances, undaunted by the threat, her movements measured and fearless. She circles the burrow, probing for weaknesses, searching for any sign of hesitation in her rival. The Okavango's dense grasses and shifting shadows offer both cover and confusion, but she remains focused. The standoff intensifies, snapping, growling, and feints, each animal testing the other's resolve. Around them, the Okavango's other den seekers watch and wait, ready to seize any opportunity. It's a contest of defense versus offense, of patience versus persistence. The honey badger's evolutionary strengths, thick skin, powerful jaws, and unyielding spirit are pitted against the porcupine's arsenal of quills. In this tense moment, the honey badger's psychological tactics come to the fore. She refuses to back down, her confidence unwavering. The porcupine, sensing the honey badger's determination and weighing the risks of injury, hesitates. The den, though valuable, is not worth a fight that could end in disaster. The honey badger's fierce display and unwavering presence tip the balance. Dominance is established not by bloodshed, but by sheer will. Even an animal that can deter the Okavango's greatest predators yields to the honey badger's tenacity. The porcupine retreats, leaving the burrow to its new determined occupant. The honey badger stands guard, alert for any other would-be challengers. Victory is hers, not through brute force, but through a blend of psychological warfare, strategic persistence, and the ability to outlast her rivals in the face of adversity. With the den secured, the honey badger wastes no time. She reinforces entrances with debris, scent marks the territory, and remains ever vigilant. In this hard-won sanctuary she can finally raise her kits, safe for now from the Okavango's endless parade of competitors and dangers. Here her legacy continues, shaped by the wild, untamed heart of Africa. The Okavango is a haven for reptiles, and among the most feared is the Cape cobra. This serpent, growing to over 2 meters in length, is armed with a potent neurotoxic venom capable of paralyzing and killing a human in a matter of hours. Its golden yellow scales provide excellent camouflage in the dry grasses, and its defensive display, rearing up and spreading its hood, is an unmistakable warning of imminent danger. For most animals, an encounter with a cobra is a signal to retreat immediately, but for the honey badger it is an invitation to dinner. Its senses are so acute that it can detect the snake's presence long before it sees it. One sweltering afternoon, while foraging through the scrubland, our honey badger picks up the scent of its serpentine prey. It follows the trail with unwavering focus, its low-slung body moving purposefully through the vegetation. Soon it corners the cobra. The snake, realizing it is under threat, rears up into its classic defensive posture, its hood flared wide, hissing loudly. It sways from side to side, tracking the badger's movements, ready to strike with incredible speed. Any other creature would be intimidated by this terrifying display, but the honey badger remains utterly unfazed. It circles the snake, its mind singularly focused on the attack. The duel begins in a flash. The cobra lunges, striking at the badger's face, but the badger is incredibly agile, and its thick, loose skin provides an extraordinary defense. The snake's fangs may even fail to penetrate the tough hide. The badger retaliates with a lunge of its own, attempting to grab the snake's head with its powerful jaws. The cobra is fast and dodges, trying to wrap its long muscular body around the badger in an act of constriction. It is a dizzying dance of death, a blur of yellow scales and black and white fur. The badger may even take a bite, but its unique physiology grants it a powerful resistance to the neurotoxin. The battle, though dramatic, is ultimately a mismatch. The honey badger's relentless aggression and powerful bite are too much for the cobra. With a final decisive move, the badger seizes the snake behind the head, its jaws crushing the spine. The fight is over as quickly as it began. The vanquished cobra lies still. The honey badger, perhaps momentarily groggy if it was successfully envenomated, will simply lie down for a short nap, allowing its body to metabolize the venom. After a brief rest, it will awaken and proceed to devour its hard-won meal from head to tail, another victory secured in the unforgiving wilderness of the Okavango. The leopard is the ghost of the Okavango. As dusk settles over the delta, the air thickens with the scent of wild sage and the distant calls of francolins. Shadows stretch long across the grasslands, and the world seems to hold its breath. A master of stealth and camouflage, the leopard glides through the landscape like a whisper, every step calculated, every muscle coiled with potential energy. Its paws barely disturb the dew-laden grass, and its golden eyes scan the horizon, reading every flicker and tremor in the undergrowth. This solitary hunter, with its beautifully spotted coat and powerful physique, is the epitome of feline grace and lethality. Its senses are tuned to the faintest rustle or scent, each whisker quivering with anticipation. The leopard's world is one of patience and precision, where a single misstep can mean the difference between feast and famine. Capable of bursts over 58 kilometers per hour and the strength to haul prey twice its weight into the trees, the leopard is one of the delta's apex predators, a shadow that rules the twilight. Its strategy is built on surprise and overwhelming force, striking with a speed that leaves little time for its quarry to react. It is an animal that commands respect and inspires fear, its presence alone enough to unsettle the bravest of creatures. Even the wind seems to hush as it passes, the grass bowing in silent deference. On this particular evening, a large male leopard is locked in the ancient ritual of the hunt, stalking an impala. Its body hugs the earth, every movement deliberate, eyes fixed, tail twitching in anticipation of the final explosive rush. The impala grazes, unaware of the danger that inches ever closer. Suddenly the spell is broken. The leopard halts, muscles tensed, ears swiveling toward an unexpected sound, a faint rustle, out of place in the rhythm of the evening. Trotting brazenly through the heart of the leopard's hunting ground is the honey badger, its gait unhurried, its posture radiating confidence. The badger's claws scrape softly against the earth, and its nose twitches as it samples the scents of the night. The badger is either oblivious to the predator's presence or simply indifferent, a creature so self-assured that even the shadow of a leopard does not warrant a second glance. Its instincts are honed by countless encounters, each one a lesson in survival and audacity. It moves with its trademark swagger, nose to the ground, searching for scorpions or rodents, as if the entire delta is its personal domain. The honey badger's strategy is simple: show no fear, and the world will hesitate before challenging you. The leopard freezes, its golden eyes narrowing, focus shifting from the impala to this small monochrome interloper. Instincts war within the big cat: curiosity, caution, and the ever-present drive to dominate its territory. Instantly the leopard recognizes the honey badger. This is not prey, but a rival, one with a reputation for ferocity far beyond its size. The leopard's memory is long, and it recalls the stories written in scars and close calls. The air thickens with tension as the two predators lock eyes. The honey badger, undaunted, squares its shoulders, while the leopard's tail flicks in irritation. Around them, the Okavango holds its breath. The grass is swaying in the faintest breeze, the sky deepening to indigo. The leopard hesitates, weighing its options. Instinct urges caution. This is no ordinary confrontation. The leopard's strategy is to avoid unnecessary risk, to conserve its strength for battles it can win without injury. Annoyed by the intrusion, the leopard rises from its cover, body elongating, muscles rippling beneath its coat, a living warning to all who dare trespass. It stands tall, asserting its dominance, hoping to intimidate the smaller animal into retreat. It unleashes a low guttural growl, a sound that vibrates through the grass and would send most creatures fleeing in terror. The growl is both a threat and a test, probing the badger's resolve. But the honey badger is not most creatures. It stands its ground, eyes blazing with defiance. Instinct tells it that retreat invites pursuit, but boldness can turn the tables. The badger halts, turns, and bares its teeth in a furious, rattling snarl, a challenge as bold as any in the wild. Its snarl is a declaration: I am not prey, and I will not run. It puffs up its coarse fur, doubling its apparent size, a living bluff that dares the leopard to test its resolve. The badger's strategy is psychological warfare: appear larger, sound fiercer, and force the opponent to reconsider. The badger plants its feet, refusing to yield a single inch, its body language a declaration of war. The Okavango's silence is broken only by the distant call of a nightjar and the soft rustle of wind through reeds. The scene is almost surreal. A diminutive badger, bristling with bravado, facing down a predator that could end its life with a single bite. Yet, in this moment, size is not the only measure of power. The leopard recoils, momentarily surprised by the badger's audacity. Its ears flatten and it takes a cautious step back, instincts warning it of the danger in underestimating such a foe. The leopard's mind races, calculating the risk. It is a hunter, but also a survivor, and it knows the honey badger's reputation for relentless, almost reckless aggression. The cost of a mistake here could be high. The leopard studies the badger, wary of the sharp claws and bone-crushing jaws that have earned this small mammal the respect of the savanna. The environment itself seems to press in, the grasses whispering tales of past encounters. Even a victorious fight could leave the leopard wounded, an injury that in the wild could mean starvation or death. The Okavango is unforgiving, and every animal knows that survival depends on more than just strength. For a predator, a limp or a gash is a sentence to vulnerability, a weakness that the Okavango will not forgive. The delta's predators are always watching, always waiting for a sign of weakness. The standoff stretches, silent and electric. Neither animal blinks, each waiting for the other to yield. The air is thick with the scent of tension, the grass unmoving, the world narrowed to this single primal confrontation. At last the leopard makes its decision. With a final frustrated huff it turns away, melting into the dusk, its pride wounded but its body unscathed. The shadows swallow its form, and the impala, sensing the shift, bounds away into the night. The honey badger stands alone, victorious. In the Okavango it is not always the largest or the strongest who prevails, but the one with the most indomitable spirit. As the night deepens, the delta returns to its ancient rhythms, and the tale of the badger and the leopard becomes another legend whispered by the wind. The honey badger is but one thread in the intricate tapestry of life that flourishes in the Okavango Delta. Here, every creature, no matter how small or fierce, is woven into a web of survival, adaptation, and interdependence. Each day the drama of life unfolds, with every animal playing a part in the grand story of the Delta. This extraordinary environment is home to a vibrant community of animals, each with a unique role that helps maintain the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Herds of antelope graze alongside elephants, while birds call from the reeds, and crocodiles lurk in the shallows. African wild dogs, or painted wolves, are among the most charismatic residents. Their mottled coats blend into the dappled light as they rest beneath trees, their keen eyes and twitching ears always alert. Within the pack, bonds are strong. Each member relies on the others for survival. When the hunt begins, the wild dogs move as one. Their coordinated strategies and constant communication allow them to outmaneuver even the swiftest prey. A single glance or yip can change the direction of the chase as the pack adapts to every twist and turn. Their relentless pursuit targets impalas, whose agility and speed test the wild dog's endurance. The chase is a test of both predator and prey, ensuring that only the fittest survive. The impalas, in turn, strengthen their herds through this constant pressure, their alertness and quick reflexes honed by generations of survival. After the hunt, the pack's unity shines. Every member, from the alpha to the youngest pup, shares in the meal. Older dogs regurgitate food for the young, and the entire pack helps raise and protect the next generation. This cooperation is the secret to their success, reinforcing the bonds that make them formidable. As dusk settles, the elusive pangolin emerges from its hiding place. Alone, it shuffles through the undergrowth, its presence almost ghostly beneath the moonlight. The pangolin's solitary foraging helps regulate insect populations, quietly shaping the ecosystem. Its keratin scales, tough and impenetrable, offer protection from predators. The pangolin's nocturnal habits and specialized diet of ants and termites keep the balance, preventing insect swarms that could devastate the land. When threatened, the pangolin curls into a tight ball, its scales forming a shield. This silent guardian of the night is rarely seen, but its impact is felt throughout the delta. With a tongue longer than its body, the pangolin probes deep into termite mounds, extracting insects that few others can reach. In doing so, it aerates the soil and shapes the landscape, its feeding habits echoing through the ecosystem. The pangolin's quiet movements and specialized diet are vital threads in the delta's ecological fabric, connecting it to countless other species in subtle, essential ways. The Okavango also shelters the mighty rhinoceros. These gentle giants, both black and white, shape the land as they graze and browse, opening pathways through dense vegetation and creating clearings that benefit smaller animals. White rhinos graze the open grasslands, their wide mouths sweeping the plains, while black rhinos browse on shrubs and trees, pruning the bush and encouraging new growth. Their feeding habits influence plant diversity and habitat structure, supporting a mosaic of life. These ancient creatures are living relics, their presence a link to the past. As they move through the misty dawn, they leave behind trails that become highways for antelope, warthogs, and even the honey badger. Each step carves new paths, dispersing seeds and opening up the wilderness. The rhino's journey is a silent act of creation, shaping the land for generations to come. The rhino's horn, made of keratin, is a symbol of strength and resilience. But its true power lies in the ecological balance it helps maintain, supporting countless other species that depend on the habitats rhinos create. Across the floodplains, impalas leap and bound, their movements stirring the grasses and alerting predators. In the trees above, leopards rest in silent anticipation, their golden eyes watching for the perfect moment to strike. The dance between predator and prey is a story of constant vigilance and adaptation. Lions prowl the savanna, their powerful bodies built for the chase. Zebras and antelope graze in the open, always wary of the shadows. Each encounter, every chase, every escape, shapes the rhythm of life and death, driving evolution and resilience. At the water's edge, a temporary truce forms. Predators and prey, grazers and browsers all gather to drink from the same life-giving source. Here the interconnectedness of the delta is on full display, each animal's survival tied to the health of the land and the flow of water. Wild dogs strengthen antelope herds by culling the weak, leopards keep smaller predators in check, and rhinos act as gardeners, shaping the land for all. Each species, predator and prey alike, plays a role in maintaining the balance, their lives intertwined in a complex web. This living mosaic, woven from countless interactions and relationships, is what makes the Okavango Delta a vital, ever-evolving ecosystem. Here, every life is bound to another, and the survival of one ensures the survival of all. The tapestry of the Okavango is ever-changing, yet always connected, an endless story of life, resilience, and harmony. In the heart of Africa, the Okavango Delta breathes with the pulse of the wild. Here, every sunrise marks a new chapter in a story written not by human hands, but by the ancient forces of water, earth, and sky. The animals of the Okavango are both authors and subjects in this tale, their lives shaped by the relentless cycles of nature. Drought creeps in on silent feet, shrinking the floodplains and fracturing the land. The herds sense the change before it is visible, their instincts honed by generations of survival. The pangolin burrows deeper, the rhino lingers near the last green shoots, and the air grows heavy with anticipation. The Okavango's lifeblood is water, arriving from distant rains that may come late or not at all. When the floods are slow, the land holds its breath. Fish-eagles circle above shrinking channels, crocodiles lie in wait, and the delta's creatures must read the subtle signs of change. In these moments, survival is a test of movement and memory. Elephants lead their families across vast distances, guided by ancient knowledge of hidden water. Buffalo and antelope follow, their migrations echoing the rhythm of the rains, while lions and wild dogs shadow their steps, bound to the fate of the herds. As the dry season deepens, competition sharpens. Zebras and antelope gather at shrinking waterholes, their vigilance heightened by thirst and the ever-present threat of predators. Elephants dig into the parched earth, unearthing water that sustains not just themselves but countless others who follow in their wake. When the floods finally return, they bring both relief and new trials. Waters rise, transforming the land into a mosaic of islands and channels. Birds wheel overhead, their calls echoing across the wetlands, while some animals find themselves marooned, forced to adapt or perish. In this ever-shifting world, some thrive on adversity. The honey badger, fearless and clever, turns every challenge into opportunity, raiding nests, digging for roots, and outwitting larger rivals. The leopard, silent and patient, stalks through tall grass, its survival a testament to adaptability. Yet others, like the pangolin and the rhino, are more fragile. Their existence is tied to the delicate balance of water and grass, their fates hanging on the edge of each season's promise. The Okavango is a living tapestry, woven from the instincts, struggles and triumphs of its wild inhabitants. Here, survival is not a battle against nature, but a dance with its unpredictable rhythms. In this fragile paradise, the future will always be written by the rains, the floods and the creatures who endure, each one a testament to the enduring power of the natural world. As the seasons shift and the Okavango's waters ebb and flow, the wild heart of the delta beats on, untouched by time. Here at the water's edge, the story of life is written and rewritten with every sunrise and every dusk. The riverbank is a living stage where the drama of existence unfolds in endless cycles, each creature playing its part, each moment shaped by the delicate balance between abundance and hunger. Floodwaters recede, drawing herds and hunters alike to the lifeblood of the land, narrowing channels where survival is written in every ripple. Antelope gather in cautious clusters, their hooves imprinting the soft mud, while predators linger in the shadows, their presence felt in every nervous glance and sudden dash. The honey badger, bold and relentless, has carved its legend in the dust and reads, a testament to the fierce will to endure. Around it, warthogs root for tubers, baboons groom and chatter, and birds dart between the reeds, each animal alert, each life a thread in the tapestry of survival. Through cunning and courage, the honey badger has claimed its place, a small sovereign in a kingdom ruled by tooth and claw. Every sense is sharpened, every movement calculated, for here the difference between predator and prey is measured in heartbeats, yet the riverbank remembers. The air is thick with the scent of old victories and the silent promise of retribution. The mud holds the memory of chases and escapes, of battles fought and lost. Here every return is a reckoning, every step a memory etched in mud and water. The honey badger pauses, senses the ghosts of past encounters, and moves forward, undaunted but never unwary. Beneath the tranquil surface, ancient eyes wait, patient, silent, eternal. Fish flicker in the shallows, dragonflies hover, but deeper still, the river's most formidable hunter lies in wait. The crocodile, sculpted by millennia, is the river's shadow, her patience as deep as the water itself. She is both guardian and executioner, her presence a silent warning to all who approach. Loss lingers in her gaze, a silent ache woven into the reeds and currents. The memory of vanished eggs, of young lost to the hunger of others, shapes her vigilance. For months she has glided through dusk and dawn, a sentinel bound to the river's edge. Hippos bellow in the distance, birds call overhead, but her focus never wavers. When the honey badger bows to drink, the world narrows to a single fateful moment. The air is charged, every creature sensing the tension, the possibility of sudden violence. Here, at the water's edge, the rules are ancient and absolute. To drink is to risk, to survive is to gamble with fate. In a surge of primal force, the crocodile erupts from the depths, nature's ambush, swift and unyielding. The water explodes and the world contracts to the struggle between hunter and hunted. The struggle is brief, the outcome inevitable. A flash of power, a life claimed by the river. The honey badger's defiance meets the crocodile's might, and the ancient contest is decided in seconds. The jaws close, ancient and unstoppable, as the cycle turns once more. The river claims its due, and the story continues. Ferocity meets fate, and the wild yields to the greater force. Even the most fearless must sometimes surrender to the relentless order of nature. In the Okavango, even legends are fleeting. Each life a brief spark in the endless dance of predator and prey. The riverbank is both cradle and grave, a place where stories begin and end in the same breath. In moments the water is still again. The echoes of the struggle fade, replaced by the gentle lapping of the current. The honey badger's saga ends beneath the surface, its story woven into the river's eternal current. Its energy returns to the land, nourishing the cycle that sustains all. There is no tragedy here, only the unbroken rhythm of life and death. Each loss is a gift to another, each ending a beginning for something new. The land absorbs the loss, and scavengers gather, each playing their part in the endless renewal. Vultures descend, jackals circle, and the remains of the hunt become sustenance for many. Every creature, from the silent hunter to the wary grazer, is bound in this intricate tapestry, each thread vital, each fate entwined. The waterhole is a crossroads, a place where destinies meet and diverge, where the strong and the swift, the clever and the cautious, all find their place. The crocodile rests, the river calms, and the cycle continues, unmoved by victory or loss. The hush returns, broken only by the distant calls of birds and the soft rustle of reeds. Here life is a ceaseless story, written in paw prints and ripples, in the hush of dusk and the roar of the hunt. The Okavango's edge is a place of beginnings and endings, of hope and hunger, of beauty and brutality. The Okavango endures, its waters flowing, its wild inhabitants forever enacting the ancient, beautiful and savage circle of life. At the water's edge the story never ends. It only changes hands. As the last blush of sunlight fades behind the papyrus reeds, the Okavango Delta transforms into a realm of secrets and shadows. The air thickens with anticipation, as if the land itself is holding its breath for what the night will reveal. Day's brilliance surrenders to a tapestry of shadow and silver, where every sound is amplified and every movement counts. The water mirrors the sky, reflecting the first stars as the world slips into darkness. Nightfall is not a curtain, but an invitation, a signal for a hidden world to awaken. The delta's secrets begin to stir, invisible by day, but alive and electric beneath the moon. Under the cloak of darkness, predators emerge with renewed purpose. Their eyes gleam with ancient knowledge, their movements calculated and silent. The sleek silhouette of a serval glides through moonlit grasses, ears pivoting to catch the faintest rustle of a rodent. Each step is a whisper, each pause a calculation. Silent as mist, it leaps, paws landing with surgical precision. In the hush, the only evidence of the hunt is a brief muffled struggle, then stillness. In the trees above, a pair of barn owls drift on silent wings, eyes glowing, scanning for the scurry of shrews and frogs along the water's edge. Their calls are rare, their presence ghostly, spirits of the night air. But the night is not ruled by hunters alone. The delta teems with life, each creature playing its part in the intricate nocturnal dance. Herds of impala huddle close, muscles tense, nostrils flaring as they decipher every whisper of wind. Their eyes, wide and luminous, scan the darkness for threats unseen. A sudden crack, perhaps a branch, perhaps a warning, sends ripples of unease through the group. In an instant the herd erupts, hooves drumming the earth in a frantic ballet of survival. Their survival depends on vigilance, for in the darkness danger is ever present and often unseen. The night is a test, and only the most alert endure. Near the shallows the African civet prowls, its striped coat melting into the dappled moonlight. It moves with the confidence of a creature that knows every secret path. It pauses, sniffing the air, then darts forward to seize a hapless crab. The crunch of shell is swallowed by the night, another secret kept by the delta. Not far off, a genet weaves through the underbrush, its ringed tail flicking as it stalks insects and lizards. Its eyes flash, catching the faintest glimmer of starlight. The air itself is alive. Frogs chorus in a symphony of croaks and chirps, while fireflies blink in cryptic patterns above the reeds. Their lights flicker like coded messages, secrets exchanged in the dark. The water's surface shivers as hippos grunt and submerge, their massive forms nearly invisible beneath the star-strewn sky. Only ripples betray their presence, as if the river itself is alive. Each creature plays its part in the nocturnal ballet, moving in harmony with the rhythms of darkness. The delta is a living mosaic, every piece essential, every life entwined. A pride of lions, eyes luminous, stirs from its daytime slumber. Their breath steams in the cool air, their bodies stretching, muscles rippling beneath tawny fur. They move as one, stealthy, deliberate, communicating with low, rumbling growls. Their unity is their strength, their silence, their weapon. The hunt is a test of patience and unity, the outcome uncertain until the final charge. In the darkness every sense is sharpened, every heartbeat a drumbeat of anticipation. High above, the Southern Cross casts its ancient glow, bearing silent witness to the drama below. The stars themselves seem to watch, guardians of the Delta's mysteries. Here in the Okavango's midnight heart, life continues in hushed tones and hidden glances. Every movement is a secret, every breath a story untold, every shadow tells a story. Every call is a thread in the vast living tapestry. The night is alive with whispers, with mysteries that only the wild can understand. As dawn edges back across the horizon, the night's secrets fade, leaving only tracks in the mud and whispers in the reeds. The mysteries of the dark are never fully revealed, only hinted at, then hidden once more. The Okavango never truly sleeps. It simply changes its mask, forever wild, forever mysterious. In this place the night is a story written in shadows, and the dawn is a promise that the secrets will return. As dawn's first light pierces the emerald canopy, the Okavango Delta awakens not just with the calls of birds or the distant footfalls of larger beasts, but with a surge of life so small it often escapes the eye. Here, beneath the golden rays, a secret world stirs. While the grandeur of elephants and lions may capture our imagination, it is the tiniest inhabitants, the insects, that are the true engineers and caretakers of this ecosystem. Their numbers are vast, their diversity astonishing, and their roles indispensable. Welcome to the hidden world of insects, a realm woven into every blade of grass, every patch of bark, and every drop of water. Beneath the surface, beneath the grass, beneath the bark of ancient trees, insects form an intricate web of life. Each species, no matter how small, is a thread in this living tapestry, connecting the visible and the unseen. Ants march in disciplined lines, their trails winding like highways through the undergrowth. Each colony is a bustling metropolis, where every ant has a purpose. Workers, soldiers, queens, all united in a dance of cooperation and division of labor. Leafcutter ants, the farmers of the insect world, harvest foliage not for themselves, but to cultivate a hidden crop. Deep within their subterranean chambers, they tend to gardens of fungus, their primary food source, in a partnership perfected over millennia. This symbiotic relationship is a marvel of natural engineering, ants and fungus each dependent on the other, thriving in the darkness below. Above the water, dragonflies dart and hover, their iridescent wings flashing in the morning sun. They are aerial acrobats, their flight patterns unpredictable, their speed unmatched, with compound eyes that see in all directions. Dragonflies are expert hunters, able to spot the faintest flicker of movement and snatch prey mid-air with deadly precision. Their larvae, hidden beneath the water's surface, are no less formidable. Camouflaged among reeds and mud, they lie in wait, their jaws spring-loaded to ambush any unsuspecting creature that ventures too close. On the forest floor, beetles, nature's armoured tanks, scuttle through the leaf litter. Some are scavengers, others are predators, but all are vital to the health of the delta. Dung beetles in particular perform a service that is both humble and heroic. They roll, bury and consume animal waste, transforming it into fertile soil and preventing disease from spreading. These tireless recyclers are nature's clean-up crew, ensuring that nothing is wasted and that the delta remains a thriving, healthy environment for all. Butterflies and moths with wings like stained glass flit from flower to flower. Their delicate forms belie their importance as pollinators, carrying life from blossom to blossom. Without their silent, ceaseless work, many of the delta's plants would struggle to reproduce, and the entire food chain would begin to unravel. In the shadows, assassin bugs lie in wait, their forelegs poised like daggers. They are patient, silent, and lethal, ambush predators that strike with lightning speed. Their patience is a deadly virtue, each strike swift and precise, a reminder that even the smallest hunter can be a master of its domain. Termites, often unseen, are the master architects of the Okavango. Their societies are vast, their organization astonishing. Their towering mounds rise from the earth like ancient fortresses, each one a marvel of engineering. Inside, a labyrinth of tunnels and chambers maintains a constant temperature no matter the heat outside. These structures are more than homes, they are sanctuaries. Birds, reptiles, and countless other creatures find refuge within their cool, protected walls, safe from the harshness of the delta sun. Spiders, the silent weavers, spin their silken traps in the early light. Their webs shimmer with dew, each strand a masterpiece of design and function. Their craftsmanship is both beautiful and deadly, a testament to the evolutionary arms race that has shaped every thread. Orb weavers hang motionless in their webs, waiting for the faintest tremor. Jumping spiders stalk their prey with keen eyesight and agility, while wolf spiders roam the undergrowth, hunting on foot. Each plays a role in keeping insect populations in balance, and in turn they become prey for birds and reptiles. Wasps and bees buzz industriously, their hives and nests a hub of relentless activity. Their societies are models of cooperation and efficiency. Bees, famed for their pollination, ensure the survival of countless plant species. Wasps, often misunderstood, are fierce hunters, controlling pests by preying on caterpillars and other insects that might otherwise devastate the delta's greenery. Each insect, no matter how small, is a vital cog in the great machine of the Okavango. Their lives are brief, but their impact is profound. They are the workers, the recyclers, the builders, and the hunters, each performing a task that sustains the whole. Their interactions form a complex, interdependent network, a living web that supports not only themselves, but the birds, reptiles, and mammals that depend on them. As the sun climbs higher, the delta hums with the collective energy of these tiny, tireless creatures. Their world is one of constant motion, endless cycles, and ceaseless transformation. In their world there is no pause, no rest, only the relentless rhythm of survival and renewal, a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of nature's smallest architects. Through their myriad forms and behaviors, insects remind us that every thread in the web of life is essential, each one a vital part of the Okavango's rich tapestry, a world where the smallest creatures hold the greatest power. Each year, the Okavango Delta is reborn, its vast mosaic of channels, islands, and floodplains sculpted anew by the arrival and retreat of water. The land pulses with the rhythm of the seasons, a living testament to nature's power to transform and renew. For the animals of the Delta, survival is a story of constant adaptation. Every creature, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, must read the subtle cues of their environment, weaving their lives around the ever-shifting face of the Delta. When the rains fall far to the north, floodwaters surge into the Okavango, spilling across the plains. Grasslands vanish beneath shimmering lagoons, and the landscape is transformed into a watery paradise. Fish surge through newly formed channels, exploring fresh territory. Herds of red lechwe antelope bound through the water, their splayed hooves perfectly designed for marshy ground, allowing them to graze and escape predators with ease. Elephants, wise and enduring, are drawn to the abundance. Matriarchs lead their families along ancient routes remembered across generations to hidden pools and lush grazing grounds revealed by the flood. But, as the months pass, the waters recede, the land dries and cracks, and the Delta's residents must adapt once more, shifting their strategies to survive the growing scarcity. Hippos, once rulers of vast lagoons, now crowd into shrinking pools. Their battles for territory grow fierce, each animal fighting for a place in the dwindling water. Crocodiles, masters of patience, burrow deep into the mud. Here they wait in a state of suspended animation, conserving moisture and energy until the next flood breathes life into the land again. Birds, too, are attuned to the Delta's rhythms. The wattled crane and African jacana time their nesting to the bounty of insects and fish brought by high water, ensuring their chicks hatch when food is plentiful and the world is green. For many, migration is the key to survival. As the landscape changes, herds move in search of food and water, following ancient paths across the floodplain. Zebra and buffalo travel in great columns, their movements a living river of hope, seeking the promise of green pastures and fresh water. Their journey is fraught with danger, rivers teeming with crocodiles, open plains where predators lie in wait, yet driven by instinct and memory they press on, their courage a testament to the will to survive. With every step, these herds shape the land, dispersing seeds, fertilizing the earth, and breathing new life into the Delta's ecosystem. For others, survival is a quieter art. Solitary animals rely on patience and ingenuity, using clever tactics to find food, water, and shelter in a landscape that is always changing. African wild dogs raise their pups during the dry season, when prey is concentrated around shrinking waterholes. Their teamwork and strategy ensure the next generation has the best chance to thrive. Frogs, small but resilient, burrow deep into the mud, entering a state of suspended animation. They wait patiently for the rains, trusting in the cycle that has sustained them for millennia. Even the tiniest reed frogs adapt, changing color to match the shifting temperatures and blending seamlessly into the reeds, hidden from both predators and the harsh sun. In this land of extremes, survival is a dance of flexibility, memory, and resilience. Each animal, in its own way, is a master of adaptation. From the towering giraffe scanning the horizon to the tiniest amphibian sensing the coming rains, every creature reads the signs, knowing when to move, when to hide, and when to seize the fleeting abundance. The Okavango Delta is more than a place. It is a living, breathing cycle, its heartbeat measured in seasons, its story written in water and dust. Here, adaptation is not just a strategy, it is the very essence of life, a hopeful promise that no matter how the world changes, life will find a way. Beneath the reeds and along the silvery margins of the Okavango's waterways, a quieter drama unfolds, one guided by the ancient rhythms of amphibian life. As the first droplets of rain tap against the earth, hidden voices awaken. Frogs emerge from their burrows, their chorus rising in a swelling symphony that signals the start of a new season. For these amphibians, timing is everything. The arrival of floodwaters transforms dusty hollows into glittering pools. perfect nurseries for breeding. Males gather at the water's edge, their calls echoing across the floodplain, each song a unique invitation to potential mates. The African bullfrog, robust and resolute, defends his territory fiercely, while the delicate reed frog relies on camouflage and patience, blending seamlessly with swaying grasses. Eggs are laid in secret sheltered places, among floating vegetation, beneath submerged roots, or clinging to reeds. Here, the next generation is cradled by the delta's gentle waters, safe from the harsh sun and lurking predators. Tadpoles hatch and begin their transformation, feeding on algae and detritus, growing stronger as the days lengthen and the waters deepen. But survival is never guaranteed. As the pools shrink and the sun returns, amphibians must adapt. Some, like the sharp-nosed grass frog, race against time, developing rapidly before their watery world disappears. Others, such as the resilient African bullfrog, burrow deep underground, sealing themselves in moist chambers where they wait out the dry months in patient dormancy. Throughout the year, these amphibian architects shape their environment in subtle ways. Their movements aerate the soil, their calls attract insects, and their presence provides food for countless predators. In turn, they are finely attuned to the delta's shifting moods, able to sense the coming rains, to vanish when danger is near, and to return when the world is reborn in water. And in the Okavango Delta, amphibians are more than survivors. They are living barometers of change, their lives woven into the fabric of the wetland's eternal cycle. With each season, they remind us that even the smallest voices can shape the story of an entire ecosystem. In the Okavango Delta, survival often depends on the art of invisibility. The landscape is a living mosaic, and within it, creatures have evolved extraordinary camouflage techniques to blend into their surroundings. Among the reeds, the mottled wings of a leaf mimic, Katie, did vanish against the green and brown tapestry, its body shaped and coloured to mirror the foliage it hides upon. Nearby, a praying mantis sways gently, mimicking the motion of grass in the wind, invisible to both predator and prey. On the muddy banks, the African rock python coils motionless, its scales patterned with earthy hues that break up its outline. Only the careful observer will notice the subtle movement as it waits patiently for an unsuspecting meal to wander too close. In the dappled shade, a serval crouches low, its spotted coat echoing the play of light and shadow through tall grasses. The serval's every step is calculated, its body melting into the golden backdrop as it stalks rodents and birds. Even the waters themselves conceal life. The slender reed frog clings to stalks, its brilliant green skin nearly indistinguishable from the plants it calls home. Underwater, tilapia hover among submerged roots, their scales reflecting the shifting light and silt, rendering them nearly invisible to passing predators. Camouflage is not just about colour. Some creatures, like the nocturnal bush baby, rely on stillness and silence, merging with the gnarled branches of ancient trees. Others, such as the African scops owl, flatten themselves against tree bark, their plumage a perfect match for the rugged trunk. From insects and reptiles to mammals, the Okavango's masters of disguise demonstrate that the greatest defense can be to simply disappear. In this realm of constant danger and opportunity, blending in is an art perfected by countless generations. A silent contest played out each day, shaping who survives and who becomes the hunted. As daylight fades and darkness claims the Okavango Delta, a new caste of hunters emerges from the shadows. The night belongs to the predators, each adapted to thrive under the cover of darkness. High in the acacia trees, the African scops owl opens its golden eyes, perfectly attuned to the faintest rustle below. With feathers that silence its flight, the owl glides effortlessly through the night, its acute hearing pinpointing the movements of insects, frogs, and small rodents. In a swift, silent dive, it claims its prize, vanishing into the canopy before its prey even senses danger. On the ground, the slender figure of a genet slips through the undergrowth. Its banded tail and spotted coat help it melt into the dappled moonlight. Agile and opportunistic, the genet stalks quietly, pausing to listen for the squeak of a mouse or the flutter of a roosting bird. With a sudden leap, it snatches its quarry, its retractable claws flashing in the gloom. Further out in the grasslands, the haunting whoops of a spotted hyena echo in the night. Hyenas are the delta's most formidable nocturnal hunters, working alone or in clans. Their powerful jaws can crush bone, and their keen sense of smell leads them to both fresh kills and the remains left by other predators. A hyena's strategy is persistence, tracking, testing, and harrying prey until exhaustion tips the balance. Sometimes their paths cross with those of leopards or lions, and tense standoffs ensue beneath the stars. But the night is not only about conflict. These predators, each with their unique strategies, shape the delicate balance of life in the Okavango. Their silent hunts and fleeting encounters are woven into the fabric of the delta, ensuring that the cycle of survival continues, unseen by day but vital in the darkness. In the Okavango, nightfall is not an end, but a beginning, a time when the masters of the night claim their domain. As the first distant thunder echoes across the Kalahari, the Okavango Delta stirs in anticipation. Thousands of kilometers away, rains pour onto the highlands of Angola, setting in motion a miracle that will take months to arrive. Gradually, the floodwaters journey south, swelling ancient channels and breathing life into the waiting land. The transformation is profound. Parched grasslands vanish beneath shimmering sheets of water. Islands appear where none existed before, and familiar paths are erased by the rising tide. The air hums with excitement as herds of red lechwe and tsesebe gather at the water's edge, ready to follow the advancing flood. Instinct drives their migration, an ancient rhythm perfectly attuned to the pulse of the delta. As the flood spreads, fish surge through new channels, their silvery bodies darting between submerged reeds. Crocodiles slip from mud-cracked lairs into the cool embrace of the water, while hippos bellow in delight, reclaiming their aquatic kingdoms. In the trees above, herons and storks descend in great flocks, their arrival timed with the bounty of fish and amphibians that the flood brings. For many, this is a season of renewal. The floodwaters trigger breeding frenzies. Frogs chorus in the night, filling the air with a symphony of hopeful calls. Nesting birds line the islands, their eggs hidden safely above the waterline. Even the secretive sitatunga, with its splayed hooves, emerges from the papyrus to graze on the lush new growth. But with abundance comes challenge. Predators adapt their strategies, stalking the water's edge or lying in wait along narrow channels. Young animals must learn quickly, for the flood brings both opportunity and danger. As weeks pass, the water begins to retreat, leaving behind fertile silt and a patchwork of lagoons. Life flourishes in the wake of the flood. New grass sprouts, insects swarm, and herds move on, following the promise of fresh grazing. The Okavango Delta, forever shaped by water and change, stands as a living testament to the power of adaptation and the enduring spirit of survival. Here, amidst the ebb and flow of the flood, the story of life is written anew each year, an endless cycle as beautiful as it is vital. As the floodwaters settle and life flourishes, an intricate dance unfolds across the Okavango Delta, a relentless contest between predator and prey. Here, survival depends not on strength alone, but on strategy, adaptation, and the delicate equilibrium that sustains the entire ecosystem. In the tall grasses, lions stalk herds of red lechwe and tsesebe. The lions move with practiced patience, using the cover of reeds to conceal their approach. Their prey, ever vigilant, rely on keen eyesight and the safety of numbers. When danger is sensed, a single warning snort can ignite a stampede, scattering the herd and frustrating the hunter's plans. Meanwhile, wild dogs employ teamwork and stamina. They pursue their quarry across flooded plains, working together to isolate the weakest members. Their relentless chase is a test of endurance, and only the most agile or clever antelope escape. On the water's edge, crocodiles lie in ambush, motionless except for the ripple of their nostrils above the surface. Fish, birds, and mammals alike must tread carefully, for a single misstep can end in a sudden explosive attack. Yet even here prey have evolved defenses. Shoals of fish move in coordinated bursts, confusing their reptilian predators, while wading birds keep a watchful eye, ready to take flight at the slightest disturbance. Above, raptors circle in the thermals, scanning for movement below. Their sharp vision allows them to spot the smallest rodent or unwary chick. But the prey are not defenseless. Camouflage, burrows, and alert calls offer a measure of protection against these aerial hunters. Throughout the delta, every species has carved out a unique strategy for survival. Some, like the Sitatunga, have adapted to life among the reeds, their splayed hooves allowing them to vanish into flooded thickets. Others, like the mongoose, form cooperative bands using numbers and agility to outwit both predators and prey. This constant interplay of pursuit and evasion, of hunger and escape, maintains the delicate balance of the Okavango. Each adaptation, each tactic is a response to the challenges of life in this ever-changing wilderness, a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of the creatures who call the delta home.